rest of these pistolones. Got the setup right here. Pistons, connecting rod, wrist pins, oil ring, compression, intermediate, rings to hold piston, wrist pins in. So, and a little bit of lubrication. Let's get it going. Don't have indication, but compression rings got it, and intermediate rings right there. And after that, we'll pack them with oil afterwards, but we'll clock them 90 and an extra, so like a 120 degree from each other. So 90. You gotta make sure they're not all in one direction, like the indentations aren't all in the same line. So oil ring gap, compression, intermediate, all separate. That's it. Number 6. Also indications on the top of the piston. That arrow faces forward of the engine, like going to the front of the engine. And on the connecting rod caps, this indentation right here has to face forward too. So gotta make sure this orientation is the same as this. So right now it goes down like this. This is facing the front piston, front orientation. So it goes on like this. Lubricate our wrist pins. Just like that. Install these. Just like that. Front indication, so we're all good there. I figure it's easier to just take out the oil ring, since you can open up like this, fit it around. It's a lot easier. If I separate it, but you gotta be very careful you don't damage it either. And then you grab what surrounds it also. Oh snap. Okay. Now so like I gotta make sure this orange indication is in between the gap, because the way it separates, there's orange indication and then it separates up top. So I'm assuming they don't want this to be in the gap opening. To prevent that, they put it on the 180 behind the gap. So that's also an indication. The reason I put this in first, so when I feed the wrist pin in, obviously it doesn't fly out the other end, so it'll just catch it. It'll just rest there. Oh, just like that, we got our 6 pistolones. Just make sure our dots are obviously upwards, because I'd rather be safe than sorry. Well, that's it. Our pistons are assembled. Now let's put the O-rings on our cylinder sleeves and start installing them inside of the engine. All I did was use a fire extinguisher bracket to mount it against the table, held on by vice grips, so I can put the piston assembly on here, so I can assemble my rings. So now we're gonna throw on these O-rings back on here onto the new cylinders.